Good evening. Welcome back to the Space Shuttle Flight Control Room for today's International Space Station Flight Director update. We have with us Courtney McMillan, International Space Station Flight Director, to tell us about what is on the plan for tomorrow. Thanks for coming back, Courtney.
Sure. Good evening.
Okay, so let's start with our standard question. How is transfer going?
Transfer is going really well. We're at about, I think the magic number right now is 78% complete, and the crew is really focusing on packing the MPLM at this point. So pretty much everything that we need on the station is moved over. Almost everything is moved over. For the MPLM, they're really focusing on getting it configured for return.
So they were able to make up the time that they lost with the extra or later sleep?
For the most part they were. We still have a few hours left, obviously, but we're doing really well.
Okay, so with all that transfer work getting out of the way, I guess it's making room for some other stuff in the crew's schedule?
Yep, like we've talked about before, we're trying to fit in as much as we can, especially on the ISS side for maintenance, but we're also getting done some other things that will support the shuttle flight after undock.
So I saw on the schedule some treadmill work that's similar to what we talked about the other day.
Yeah. So for the other day we replaced the gyroscope for the treadmill in the Russian segment, and it did not power up. So today we've got a little bit of troubleshooting, and then we're going to go after the next box that could be causing a problem, which is the vibration isolation system controller unit, which basically is the brains that powers the vibration isolation system, including the gyro.
So I guess you have kind of a list of possible things that could be causing the problem. You just go down it.
It's a pretty short list. Yeah. We worked the gyro and didn't get the results that we were expecting with that. So the next step is really to see if the controller unit will fix the problem. There's one more thing we can try with starting the gyro up, so the crew will do that first, but we're not holding out our hopes for that. We've got in the plan a very lengthy procedure to go after the vibration isolation system controller.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I also noticed that Sandy Magnus had a few different activities on her schedule, some air sampling, and then I think some work with the Japanese robotic arm.
So air sampling we do on a regular basis. It helps us keep track of the quality of air. We have various sensors on board that tell us like how much oxygen, how much carbon dioxide, but what we don't have is really, what microbes are there, if any, or any other smaller constituents or more organic constituents. So this is some sampling to check on microbes for the most part, and then she's got the GEM robotics stuff that you mentioned is a laptop setup. It's in preparation for some work that they'll be doing after the mission, leading up to some operations with the small fine arm on the GEM robotics system on the external platform off of the GEM.
I guess this is another case of Sandy being a good person to do it because she's had so much experience at station.
Yes, both of these things are the types of activities that she performed regularly when she was an increment crew member. So she's very well suited for these, definitely well trained, and so we're taking it to get some of these knocked out.
Okay, and then I also noticed there was going to be some work going on with spacesuits, which we're done with spacewalks for this mission. So what's that about?
We are done with planned spacewalks from the station during this flight. We always protect for some contingencies on the shuttle prior to landing. So, for example, if they can't close the payload bay doors for some reason, there's a contingency EVA plan that they would need to support to go out and make sure those get closed. So the work that we did yesterday was to resize one suit for Rex and check it out, and also check out the suit that Sandy would use if they needed to do a contingency EVA after undock. Nothing that we plan to do nominally, but something that they are definitely trained for if they need to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, what else should we be watching for on today's agenda?
Well, one of the things that we're setting up to do with all the transfer being to the station being, for the most part, or the bulk of it anyway, being completed, we have all this stuff, and the crew has mentioned this a couple times in some of the conferences that they've done. there's a lot of stuff now on the space station, and a lot of it is just temporarily stowed in convenient locations for to get the transfer done. We're going to try to start getting the crew into basically unpacking that and putting it in its final location so that things are a little better organized and it will not take them so much time to find things after undocking. So we've prepared some preliminary words to get up there to get them started thinking about the unpack process, and with any luck they'll be able to use some of the transfer time today to get that done on the station side while the shuttle crew are packing up the MPLM.
So hopefully leave the station in a little better configuration.
Leave the station in a little more organized configuration when they go. It's always a big activity after a big transfer mission like this to get everything unpacked after the mission, and we usually don't get the opportunity to get that unpacking done during the flight. So hopefully this will actually be something that goes a little more smoothly because we're able to do it at the same time. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, well, good luck. We'll talk to you about that tomorrow, I guess.
All right.
Thanks so much again for coming back and talking with us.
Sure.
Again, this was Courtney McMillan, Space Station Flight Director, coming over for our Flight Director update. We'll go back now to live mission coverage. This is NASA TV.